Welcome back, fellow armchair general. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough, yes, of America, though we are currently watching what's happening here. The Germans have taken Yugoslavia and are sort of pushing into Greece, with the Italians massively pushing into Greece and checking it out. But for everybody, I hope I earn your hitting like button. If you're new, hit the subscription. I just want to say thank you to everyone, particularly who posts on these videos. It really helps out so much. Oh, I'm doing great, Hoffman. Good to hear that you're doing fine. Yeah, I heard that he fell on his bike, but that isn't uncommon for a man of his age. I didn't see just what happened, but we could. No, I think we're going to continue. I want to get good fighters up. I know we need to do these two, but let's pursue getting good fighters. This is the interesting where the action's happening over here in Europe. Okay. Canada. Okay, Canada, we want to help out. We're now neutral. We have a surplus, but that's going to go away. Unit combined arms. Let's come over here. Okay, let's get. We are pushing ahead. We want high-tech fighters to fight with the Japanese. Yeah. If we're going to get anything that any more advanced that expand our industry, which I hope we do. Again, this is the first time that I've played. Now, the AI gets, even on standard settings, gets a lot of bonuses that the human player doesn't for some of these nations. So, yeah. I don't know how much we should be building on some of these. So, let's get developed. Let's do 20,000. Okay, well, we're going to wait to get 22,000 at least. That way, if one of the other pop-up demands for money show up, we can cover it. Coastal submarine classes, good. Don't know how many we'll build, but we might build a few. Okay, now that we have that, let's get our... Let's get our carrier prototypes. That's unusual for me because I'm going to do flying both. And naval bombers first, but we're going to do carriers, get those guys. Maybe some thousand, or 90 some a day. Okay, Italy enforces conquer of Greece. Right now, looking like the Germans aren't going to set up the Balkan, and maybe the AI is not meant to. And the AI might not be having as many revolts, recalculated artillery, as the player would down there. So maybe it's smarter for them to just directly occupy and own the territory down there. Okay, now, okay. Carrier prototypes. Yeah, we want to do flying. Those will be really good. You can totally see. Hey, impact easy. Let's read gamer practice. Any advice on ship compositions? Is CV LC mix still viable? Would you recommend a mix with DDs for sub hunting? Okay. Well, one, I've not played a real in a long time. I did play Japan, years ago now. Oh man, it's been a while, and a British campaign. So I have played naval-based campaigns, but I don't know how much it's changed because I know they have worked on naval. What I've done here is I've created two battleship groups. I've stuck a CVL, which I'm going to put in some fighters with them, just so that there is always, and there's this is the carrier. This is the carrier group here, and again, that Hornet will be added to the carrier group, and then the other one here. So they always have some air with them, just for lack of coordination. If I don't have airstrikes coming in from other ones, because the way it should be is to say, if the enemy fleet is here, you should want to have your carrier sitting over here and just doing carrier air attacks against them, and then send in your battleships into the sea province to have them battle it out. So that's what you want to do. Now this does put some carriers in harm's way, but it gives them always air cover, so that is useful. So that's what I'm doing. As you can tell here, I am not saying that I've tried it and I know it's going to work out well or correctly or whatever. So that's what I'm planning on doing. Hey, Ringo. That's what I'm planning on doing for my major fleet operations. And then light cruisers and destroyers. Probably add a few more destroyers to this carrier group, yes, to deal with subs. And heavy cruisers, few light cruisers, and destroyers for the battleships. So that's what I'm doing. I don't know if it's going to be the best or the most optimum picks for it, but we're gonna change them. No, Nimitz can stay, I guess, command of one of the battle squadrons. King was, of course, in charge of the whole navy. Halsey, yeah. Let's see, Halsey's. Yeah, I guess. Halsey, though, did want to. Yeah, we'll change that. We'll change that out. Leader. We're gonna switch this around. We're gonna put Halsey in charge of the battleship groups, and we'll put Nimitz in charge of the carrier group. Though he, of course, was sort of Pacific Navy theater commander. And we're not going to do that the way this is sort of set up, because the land-based version of him, if we put him here, he'd just be a terrible leader. So we're going to leave MacArthur in charge here. So we might want to move. Well, we're not going to go to the Philippines. Okay. Well, we are in June. Okay. Yes, good. Okay. August, September. I think August will be in enough time. I'm just sort of hoping to when we come into the war, I'm presuming in December. Maybe, yeah, I was sort of waiting for something like this to pop up in a big chunk of money. 18,000, we can expand our factories, one artillery factory in Reading. Artillery preparation and training, that would be one of these, I think. Yep. Let's go over prototypes, and I don't have many or any yet, but we'll do naval bombers for when we do have them. And HMS Malaya is lost. I guess it's what in the Mediterranean fight here, probably. Why is Nimitz available in the real world? He ran into the mainland to avoid any responsibility to Japan. What? Yeah. Nimitz wasn't very high ranked. I forget. At the start of the war, he gets promoted over several a bunch of more senior admirals to take the command. So he was nowhere in the right command level to be it. The only thing that I know that Nimitz was doing prior to the war in the Pacific was he was in command of the submarines. I don't think Nimitz ever commanded a submarine actually, but he was, and I could be wrong on that. I read the biography of him some years ago during playing the Japanese series. But he was very much working with the Navy in developments of diesel engines. I'm going to say around the time of World War One. So he was, and this is before they're even like put into any ships for the Navy. Smaller ships and submarines. But he's working to get diesel engines going, basically for submarines. He does a rather good job of that. Goes through some stuff. I forget exactly what he's doing entirely. But then during the 1930s, he is put in charge of setting up a base in Honolulu here, in Pearl Harbor, for the subs. And basically what he does is he has like zero budget. Oh yeah, hey, go build a base. With what money? Nothing. So he goes around to the Atlantic coast naval bases and scrounges stuff. Supplies, lumber, just basic stuff, and gets it put on ships and sent out to Hawaii. And so he is the one that builds the submarine base in Honolulu for the subs. And to my knowledge, and this is going off of my memory, how does your defense of the not much, nothing's really changed down there yet. And I can't send anything to Singapore until we're allied with the British, so I can't do anything there before the start of it, and I don't know if I'm going to even try. So Nimitz is sent out. He builds the base, and for a time, is I guess the equivalent of Com Sub Pact, which is Command Submarine Pacific. And he runs the subs out there. He, to my knowledge, is not running any surface fleets or commands. He was chief of Bureau of Navigation. Yeah, that's back. If I'm not mistaken, that's back in Washington or East Coast America. And so he was doing that kind of stuff. Well, we're going to see what forces we have, Arno, and what we can do. I just don't know. It's just still a mystery to me what we'll have available. So nothing that I know of that he would have been held anywhere responsible for what was going on in the Pacific fleet wise. Now, Arno, I think what I want to do is I want to make sure once we get in, I want to send some forces into very rapidly into British areas here in Africa. Um, hello. I'm going to butcher this, I'm sure. Kasvetli Sahin? Kasvetli Sahin? I'm sure I'm butchering that. Sorry. Words I'm not familiar with. Uh, so I'm not against the idea of it, but I want to make sure I have enough. If I think I'm holding out the Philippines well enough, and if Singapore hasn't fallen, I might. It's a good idea. Love to keep Singapore in the game. So yeah, no, Nimitz is, now he very well may have like wanted to get back out of being lost in the Pacific, as it were, with a command with nothing to do. Now that he's got things running reasonably well for the submarines, what more is there to do in the Pacific? Okay, let's grab. Oh well, let's see. These guys. What are these? What class? Well, I guess we'll just have to go with them. Well, I guess he's good enough. We'll just promote him up. I think I have. No, I don't have. Hey, thanks for following. Okay, well, let's grab a few of these light cruisers and send them down there. I want to try to keep. Kimmel was the one that was in charge of the Pacific during the Pearl Harbor attack, and he gets court-martialed. War to Mexico. No. We're following a basically historical start. We're not playing conquer the world or anything. And there's no point in it. We don't need Mexican territory. Okay, Australia. We could use the money, so yeah. Okay, Kaiser Wilhelm dies, yes. Okay, Japan annexes Siam, so now they have that. Ah, hello. Cool. Turkey is cool. I'm from California in the United States. Oh, do we give them money for supplies? No. More submarines, cool. Australia and New Zealand have been producing submarines. Hopefully they'll be useful in the game. And South Africa, an interceptor, sure. Yes, you can just scroll down on the Twitch page there for the chat, and you'll see my link to YouTube. And check out my YouTube channel there. Lots of Hearts of Iron and other games. Okay, so now we have a surplus there. We'll probably see about keeping that, giving money for supplies. Now we're trying to build up our money. Ah, thank you, Arno. Okay. Yeah, because we're running out of metal. I'm hoping to. Well, yeah, in it, Germany's just got down here in Salonika annexed. That's going to be a supply problem for them. Italy's grabbed all this coastal region. Germany's grabbed that. Huh. Okay. We'll see how if this continues. Cool. Yes, English is a good language to know to get stuff from all over the world. Okay, now that's enough. We will invest in metal mines. Here we go. Money into that. Okay. We'll build up our metal reserve. Well, it's built up, but it'll keep us from going down. Well, I'm glad you can understand me some. Okay. Another, when I quickly moved my mod over, but we can see here from the headline, Roosevelt freezes Axis surplus. Yes, I didn't move the or Axis assets. Boy. So basically, because of the war in Europe, Roosevelt seizes both German and Italian assets. So it's definitely something that's not completely neutral. We'll gain a little bit of money, some supplies, minerals, or materials, I should say, and they'll get hurt a bit by this, and it definitely puts us into that. Okay, submarine class is good. That's grayed out. Let's come over here and let's do down. Can you add subtitles on Twitch? I don't know if you can, Arno. I know YouTube does have a subtitling function. And then you can do an auto translate. That's how I often, do for videos in languages I don't understand on YouTube. Use, okay. Bombers. We've got through much of our fortifications. Yeah, over on YouTube, I don't know that it does it for live shows, but should be able to get the videos up that are posted up, and do the closed captioning. The CC, hit the CC button, and it should be in English, and then do over the little wheel, the cog button. Hit that for auto translate to presumably Turkish or whatever you wish to listen to or read in, I should say. Division HQs. Nope, it's this one here. Okay. Not that we have any yet. We're going to be cutting this close, getting Okay. Well, let's send you out to sea. Rebase the carrier, so you're on this one. Okay, so now this battleship group has air cover attached. Let's get this carrier group, send them there. Good ship attack. Yeah, we'll maybe do it on a more one. See while the other ones go back to port. You rebase the carrier. Or they went to the right. Right group. Okay. Yes, I have a lot of Hoi 4 videos up, and I played a bunch. Most recently, I was playing with the mod, World Ablaze mod for Hoi 4. But yeah, brigade command structure. Grayed out. Let's do this. Get all of our aircraft up to do that. This carrier group still no, just because I haven't built it, still no, you know. Okay. I think I am going to move the Hornet. This other base down there. Hello, son. How you doing? That. Still no fewer units, but it will mean once we get some, a better, more functional. Okay, this is more than historically based. So we have the Hornet, the Wasp, the Essex here. Up here we have the Yorktown, Lexington, Saratoga, Enterprise, and the Bellawood, which is a light carrier. And we have the Princeton and the Independence as light carrier CVLs with our battleship. We can carry more air wings here. This does have 2 air wings. This is, this is 2. Okay. That's 2. So 4 was okay. So this is everything but the Bellawood is fully manned up in carriers. So that is a ready to go fleet. Well, this is just the second carrier group, shall we say, is being organized here. Clicking through here, so we have 3 CVs, 3 CLs, and some destroyers, just sort of because that's what's available. We have a battleship group here of 6 battleships and a CVL, just to always give it some air protection, and similarly down here. We have it not exactly all the same, but so we more or less have 1 carrier group and 1 battleship group ready to go in the Pacific. And out here we have the Atlantic Squadron for for the Ranger and some battleships here. Probably, you know, what's his speed? Speed is 31. What are my speeds over here? Sounds pretty good. I just don't want to put a slow max speed 32. Okay, 31, 32. That isn't enough for me so to worry about. So what we're going to do is now we're going to move the bale of wood out of this group here. And they're going to go to there. The Atlantic Squadron here, we're going to take the Ranger out of it. And we're going to send that to join this group here. No, we've not declared war on anybody. We are the war is going in Europe, but and Germany is taking everything. But we are still at peace. We're going to wait to Japan to attack us, like historically. In our service HQs, that means the different services can talk to each other. Yay! At least better. Okay. And we'll get to fighter bombers. We'll get to bigger bombers. Well, let's see. Yeah, we can do gun turrets. That's a years ago I knew a Turkish guy who moved to America. He loved America. I would say, generally speaking, Americans who think about it, quite honestly, a lot don't think about Turkey a lot. Like Turkey, we don't like your current president. We don't like your current government. I don't know what you think about your current government, but I would say we don't like your current president. And I don't like your current president. Don't like what your current president is doing in places like Syria, and definitely don't like what Turkey is doing in Cyprus. So yeah, but I think Turkish people are cool. It's just I don't like what your government's doing. AA cruisers. Do I even have those available? No, I don't have them available yet. So yes, I would consider them. I'm not sure what unlock AA or cruiser. That's just cruiser AA. What unlocks them? Quite honestly, he's playing as Germany. That normally doesn't come up for me much. I know I've at some point or another known what unlocks the class. Oh, A up here. Light escort cruiser, light escort cruiser roll 2, and heavy anti-air artillery cruisers at least 3. So we would need this. We're only getting to, well, we could have started at the beginning of this year. So it's going to be a while. We got to get this, and we have to get, I think we're doing light cruiser escort roll now. Yeah, light cruiser, we're doing that. So we've got to get this up a little bit more. Yeah, Ataturk is a controversial figure. He definitely moves Turkey out of the Ottoman into a more modern era, that's for sure. Okay. does that mean there's a war going on here now? Okay, Germany just declared war with the Soviet Union, and Hungary and Romania are in the war. Okay, regimental combat teams advance. Well, very good. Glad to hear you're happy. Okay, well, radar, yeah. Let's get some of that going. It would be useful. So we're seeing the Soviet Union pushing into Germany because Germany did not have forces enough, at least along the border. That's what. Yeah, I don't know. We want to be here, I think. Yeah. Well, no, let's come over here and continue down the radar path. Really hot. Ah, paradox. Paradox, paradox, paradox. You refuse to do basic things to make your game better because you think you can make it great. But you can't make it great, so you don't make it even better. Yes, we would call it patriotism, but what a lot of people would call nationalism, yeah, there is American nationalism. Our general term would be patriotism, but yes, nationalism, yes, for America. With many, with I would say most, 3/4 of America, 1/4, 1/4, 25% no, but the other, yes. Anti-aircraft ammunition, that is here. Okay, stop that. Now let's look at, well, let's do CAG fighter focus, get our CAGs focus, and hopefully it was a friendly who stole our stuff. Yeah. They refused to script the AI so that Germany would set up with a good war script. Artillery barrel and ammunition. Let's continue moving stuff over to here, make these very effective, hopefully. Look at Romania is able to push into the Soviet Union. But no, Germany's getting pushed out of everywhere. Hungary's able to push because they've stacked up units along this border. Well, I'm sure at some point Germany will move a lot of forces there, but sort of a bit too late. When they script AI, AI would act according to the player, would destroy the AI with ease. Are there any refugees in America? Oh, very, very many. millions of refugees in America from all over the world. Okay, the Queens, I don't know. Spy ring. The spy ring was the largest espionage case in United States history that ended in convictions. A total of 33 members of German espionage were headed by Frederick Fritz, Robert Deskuhn. I don't know. I probably heard it, but I don't know. Were convicted after a lengthy investigation by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Of those indicted, 19 pleaded guilty. The remaining 14 were brought to jury trial in the Federal District Court, Brooklyn, where they were found guilty on December 13th, 1941. Just a few days after December 7th. On January 2nd, 1940, the group was sentenced to serve a total of 300 years in prison. The agent who formed the ring was placed in key jobs in the United States to get information that could be used in the event of war and carry out acts of sabotage. Right, okay, so we got a lot more counter-espionage capabilities. Most people in the U.S. are refugees from their own government. Well, if you look at it that way, America is founded by people who wanted to flee what they had before, where they were, whether it was flee England, flee Ireland, flee Poland, Russia, Germany, wherever. And then we wanted to get rid of our foreign government. Oh, good, they have Sergeant York here. Cool. Okay, we would give them energy for money, certainly. Okay, Sergeant York debut. Sergeant York is a 1941 biographical film, the life of Alvin York, one of the most decorated American soldiers of World War I. It is directed by Howard Hawks, a great director, Howard Hawks. York refused several times to authorize a film version of his life story, but finally yielded to persistent efforts in order to finance the creation of an interdenominational Bible school. Okay. Cooper went on to win the Academy Award for Best Actor for his portrayal. The film also won for Best Film Editing and was nominated in nine other categories. The American Film Institute ranked the film 57th in its 100 most inspirational American movies. It also rated Alvin York 35th in the list of top 50 American heroes and American citizens, or American cinema, sorry. Okay, get until July 41, so just few days here. Okay, few days here we get national manpower boost. Sure, okay, lose some dissent, gain national unity. Okay. RIA, we'll do this, and CAG crew training. Be under here. Let's do air interception. Do you know that our armed forces will launch a new operation against the terrorist organizations you support in Syria? Well, I don't know that the U.S. supports any terrorist organizations in Syria. That is, give exiles France. I don't know who you're going against. Who the Turks are going to be fighting in Syria. I know they're fighting. It's a weird, mixed-up war. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird, mixed-up war. Okay, USAAF. Af Reorganization, the air defense of the United States was divided into 4 geographical regions in 1940 that laid the foundations for the subsequent number of air forces when, in November, Army GHQ was activated and obtained full control of GHQ Air Force. The Chief of Staff, George C. Marshall, requested a reorganization study from the Air Corps. On October 5th, 1940, the Chief of Air Corps, Major General Henry Arnold, submitted, I think that's Hap Arnold, submitted a proposal for the creating an air staff unifying the air arm under one command. Okay, well, we can afford all of that, I guess. Get some manpower. Okay, IFF. Finish researching IFF. Okay. That is over avionics, is it? Yes, one and done. Okay. I think the remains of ISIS and some communist groups. Well, we don't support ISIS as far as I know, Kyle. You have the Armenians in this part of the world. I know Turkey, did an Armenian genocide. And you have still some Armenians in Turkey. And they could be considered a terroristic organization. You have the Armenians in Syria, and you have the Armenians in Iraq. So the Armenians, particularly in Syria, are sort of puppet forces to America, as far as I understand. I don't know that the Turkish government are going to attack them because there are U.S. soldiers embedded with them. And when the Russians, I almost said Soviets, when the Russians tried to do that with their mercenary forces, Trump just killed a few hundred Russians when they tried to attack us. I mean, Trump gave the orders to have them do it. So I don't know if Turkey's going to be pushing into this part of Syria. I do know they're pushing in here. I don't know if they're going to be pushing against Assad's forces or other rebel forces. Do you think Greeks or Turks are more reliable? Turks are doing in Iraq. Yeah. Well, most of the Armenian forces in Turkey had been communist because of the Cold War, the communists were supporting them. So Armenian politics are all sort of messed up too. Well, Turks are not Europeans, and I don't know. What do you mean reliable? I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. Are more reliable. I'm pro-Western over Eastern forces. So if it comes down to it, if you're asking who do I like better, if you're gonna, if Turkey, if everybody's at peace, great, cool, I like everybody. But if the Turks are going to, if Turkey and Greece are going to go to war, I'm going to support the Greeks because they're Europeans. Hey, Eric. Wow, is Turkey attacking Syria MK2? I don't know MK2, Ragar. May have heard the term, but I don't know it right offhand. Last time Turkey lost several Leopards. Oh yeah, well they also, some of the vehicles I understand they were Leopard 1s, not Leopard 2s, I think. Dressed up to look like Leopard 2s, I believe, from some of the stuff I read and saw. Okay, technology, IFF we just did. We could do bombing sites, sure. And we have some, okay. Still 2 forts, a building. I want to get more into these things. Well, May 42. Oh boy, we are. way behind on things. Okay, 7th. There. Let's put the 7th. And I really, I'm happy to talk about modern. Oh shit! No, I didn't want that there. Okay. Move rebase to there. Good. Happy to talk about the modern situation, but I just right now don't think I know enough to talk about it intelligently. Just the current situation, what's going on. With Turkey and Syria and whatnot. There's a lot of detail there. And I'm sure I get things wrong right now. Okay, let's put Kimmel's and the Atlantic Squadron together. There we go. Now let's put you out at sea so I can base, because that's the group that I want highest priority to. Okay. You rebased carrier. Good. Okay, destroyer crew training. The Middle East is a very complicated issue, and Turkey is part of it. I definitely have opinions on a lot of it, but to try to talk about what current situation is, fighter ground crew, I think I need to look into it a little more closely before just spouting off about it. Because look, this part of the world is messed up. You've got Armenians, you've got Kurds, you've got all in this area here. Armenians, Kurds. I know there's that up here too, but Kurds, Armenians, Arabs, Turks, Shiites, Sunnis, Druze, Christians, the Maronite Christians. You've got all of that sort of going on. If you throw in, I'm going to probably butcher, but Erdogan's demand or whatever that the Greeks not fortify or not military occupy their own territory in the Aegean. Well, why are you going to tell the Greeks they can't put military weapons here? That seems stupid and silly. You have the Turkic invasion and occupation of the northern half of Cyprus. It's a real mess. And yeah, we produce our own weapons with our own. Oh yeah. You mostly copies of other countries. You produce copies of HK rifles and such. I know at least some weapons. Oh yeah, no. Turkey is, compared to what it was during World War II, which World War II it did not produce its own weapons, but modern day Turkey, yes, does. Yes, I know. Assad and Russia would be pissed off when Turkey would do military interventions. Yeah, but right now Russia is locked in a war. Can't really do too much right now. We don't need any more. We don't need you anymore. We don't. Yeah, well, you're not going to get. We don't. You didn't give us. Yeah, they're not going to give Turkey F-35s anymore. That ain't gonna happen. Yeah, well, produce your own stuff, yes. Um, so yeah, no. I don't know if who about buying F-35s from the U.S. But the Turkey's behavior, I'm surprised they're still in NATO, quite honestly. Oh, Tobruk has been taken by the British. Yeah, well, right now, I don't see the EU killing large numbers of people. So I would have to agree with Arno. Russia's behaving much more badly right now. Yeah, well, he can align himself with Putin. Putin wants allies right now. Romania is pushing pretty deep into Russia. Okay, destroyer escort role has advanced. Good. Where is okay, up here, 41. Well, we'll let that continue. We're going to armor piercing. And I'm going heavy navy because it's something I normally don't do. Okay, we've maxed that out. Just to sort of be different from my normal German playthroughs. Oh, we could do medicine. That will help us out a lot. I think one of the more interesting conflicts that's going to be coming in the near future will be the sort of Iran-Turkey conflict. I think that is something that is brewing up pretty fast. Yeah, an engine ground crew training. Looks like Germany's starting to push back a little bit. They've retaken all of East Prussia. Okay, yes. Defensive plans. That is. No, that is here. Okay, I'll just call you a Casvet. See you later, Casvet. Have a good meal. Okay, yes. Let's see here. I don't know, air landing. Yeah, these are things we want. They're useful, but I'm trying to focus on things I'm going to be using early war. I guess some of these here we could start doing some. I like talking about the modern world situation, but like right now, I'm just not up on the various factions in Iraq and who's supporting who. Kurds, Armenians. Various factions. Okay, range finding equipment, that's under artillery. Alright, and carriage designs. Well, heavy artillery brigades. Well, we're not going to use any of those right away. Are you leaving Starstreak, or are you just saying goodbye to Kess? Do active sonar for ships. That would be useful. We have even more. Okay. No, we're not buying supplies. We got plenty of supplies, and I can always make more if I want. This game uses way too much money that I don't want to just spend it. Okay, CAG pilot training. And para HQs. Yeah, let's do this. Oh, you're not leaving till the fat lady sings. Well, we don't have a fat lady here, so I guess you can never leave. You're trapped. Gamer's twisted world. Okay, now the Germans are starting to push out effectively, it looks like. Okay, supply transportation. That is here. Good. We'll let that continue. Selling crude oil to Bulgaria, fine. Ah, pause. Okay, we now have another carrier air group here. Well, let's just drop it inland for the moment. I want to see how big it is. Is it just, yeah, single group? You know what I think we will do here? We have this group here of sub-hunters. Oh, let's send you back into port, and yes, rebase to port. And patrol wing. Let's put you out to... By Hotel California, you can check anytime you want, but you can never leave, yes. Yeah. Man, it's hard to leave here. Where did we drop that? Is that? Yes. Most of you haven't been, but Ronald Reagan said at least once, if the Pilgrims had landed in California, we would have never discovered the rest of America because they would have just found paradise and wouldn't have gone anywhere else. Well, it's near to that as can be, and that's back when he was governor. California used to be a great state. Used to be not like Bible Belt conservative, in the South or whatever, but they were sort of conservative types out here in California, sort of independent conservative types. Like, used to like cruiser crew training. Used to really be great out here. Like cruiser crew training. Okay, I know it's 41 right now. We could be doing more than that, but let's get some of our. Okay, we've got the CAGs doing their thing. Improving. Yeah, this is. Let's do surface radar. You guys are building lots of subs. Australia's building lots of subs. They're actually completing those subs. Okay, light cruiser escort will advance. For that, an HE ammunition for cruisers, it looks like. Okay, yeah, that's way too far. Let's come over here to capital and we could do AP and HE ammunition advance. And we have, okay, all but one, and this is the least important, Johnson Island right now, have been completed. The fortification plan growth, we're getting carrier air groups done. I don't know if this is enough, but it's some to put everything into production or into the field. Well, not these things that are coming. Wow, we're getting some more CVs. Wow, we're gonna have a lot of CVs. But I want all of that done and whatnot. But let's also get more land-based air operations going. That's very eagle's eyes of you. Yes, good one, Arno. You just sit around drinking beer and watch sports. I don't know. Australians have seemingly built a decent country. Now, I haven't been to Australia, but from the visuals, from the various things, it seems like a decent place. Well, I think we're going to end the episode here, not the live stream, so everyone live can just hang loose, but those watching later, thank you so much for watching. I do really appreciate it. See you next time for even, yes, more Hearts of